नमस्तेस्तु
नमस्तेस्तु
महामाये
महामाये
श्रीपीठे सुरपूजिते
श्रीपीठे सुरपूजिते
शङ्खचक्रगदाहस्ते
शङ्खचक्रगदाहस्ते
महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तु ते
महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तु 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 ते
So today we'll try to understand the essence of Mahalakshmi Tattva. So we must have heard a lot of Astalakshmi stotrams or compositions on Mahalakshmi. But what is this Lakshmi Tattva is all about is something we'll try to experiment. I wouldn't say explore, because we are still, I personally believe we are still not there to actually feel that, the essence of that Tattva. But we'll try to understand what Mahalakshmi is all about. It's unfortunate that we all think Lakshmi Puja is done for Diwali. Okay, Lakshmi Puja is for money. I wouldn't even call wealth, right? So we say, okay, Lakshmi okay, you have money home. Okay, you need money, you do. So that's why we also see a lot of these businessmen doing a lot of Lakshmi Puja. But is that what a Lakshmi Tattva is all about has been a question, and we try to unravel those questions that we all have, right? So in the process of me trying to understand the Tattva, my first question was, what is the generic meaning of Lakshmi? What is Lakshmi means? So Lakshmi, when I was just doing this research, I realized Lakshmi means Lakshya. What is a Lakshya? A goal, right? That goal can be in any form, but then the Lakshya, the goal that we have. So Lakshmi gives us that goal, the aspiration to reach that goal, or we can also say Lakshmi as a mother helps us to reach those goals that we have. Now again, you might say goals depend on person to person. Doesn't matter what goal you have, whether you have a materialistic goal like as I say money, or whether we have a higher goals for ourselves. Lakshmi is the center where she'll help us reach our goals, Lakshya. In the stotra we just did, it is Shri Pithe, right? Shri Pithe Sura Pujite. Sura is Devatas, Pujite is someone who is prayed by the Devatas. Okay. What is Shri Pitham? Shri Pitham is an abode for peace and wisdom. We also have a place called a Shri Pitham, and they market this as a abode for peace and wisdom. So Shri Pitham, Pitham is a space wherein you are sitting, okay, the sthana, alright. So Shri is an epitome of peace and wisdom, right? Shri is an epitome of harmony. Shri is an epitome of balance. We have a beautiful writings by Mother, from her four aspects of Mother, and Mahalakshmi being one of her aspects. So we would read a bit of it to understand the Tattva of Mahalakshmi, and then we'll go further with learning a beautiful composition. There are multiple compositions in Carnatic music, talking about beauty of Mahalakshmi. It's not just the form of a Mahalakshmi, but the essence of Mahalakshmi. Once you read, I just recollect another beautiful story of how the Udbhavam of Lakshmi. We'll surely talk about it. Yeah. Can we read mother's quotes?
But while you were talking about the core word like Lakshmi, the goal,
Lakshya.
Lakshya, I suddenly thought about Lakshana is also a term
Correct.
we use, right? Maybe
Correct.
like it's probably a root is from the Lakshmi.
Absolutely.
Lakshana is again like beauty, refinement,
Correct.
and like something pleasing.
True,
So this
true.
just came up.
Absolutely. So, I mean, see, in connection, it's just flowing beautifully. In connection, we are saying harmony and beauty.
Exactly.
So, the essence of Lakshmi is harmony and beauty. And Lakshanas, as you said, these are all like. Lakshanam is not a habit again. It is there in inbuilt personality in the system. It is there inbuilt in our system, and then we work on it. We enhance on it, right? Those are Lakshanas. It is not something like you can just pick it up from the market and then take it. It is there in us, and then we are working towards it, right? Beautiful.
Harmony and beauty of the mind and soul, harmony and beauty of the thoughts and feelings, harmony and beauty in every outward act and movement, harmony and beauty of the life and surroundings. This is the demand of Mahalakshmi. This is the demand of Mahalakshmi. Where love and beauty are not or are reluctant to be born, she does not come. Where love and beauty are not or are reluctant to be born, she does not come. Mahalakshmi is the Divine Mother's aspect of love, the perfection of manifested love. She is the goddess of supreme love and delight, and her gifts are the spirit's grace and the charm and beauty of Ananda and protection. All that is poor repels her advent. Yes, poor without generosity, without ardor, without amplitude, without inner richness. All that is dry, cold, doubled upon itself, prevents the coming of Lakshmi. Lakshmi Bhava is love and Madhurya.
See, the Lakshana that we were talking about is exactly explained in the last paragraph of Mother saying, right? These things stops the flow of Lakshmi, and Lakshmi Bhava is what? Lakshmi Bhava
is generosity, wideness, amplitude.
Beautiful.
It's love, delight, spirit's grace, charm and beauty of Ananda.
Lovely. So beautiful. We also know that Mahalakshmi's Udbhavam is from Palasamudram, right? So we have this Puranic story, Sagara Madhanam, Samudra Madhanam, and then Lakshmi is born out of the milk ocean. If I have to just put it in Sagara, this thing Madhana, in English terms, the milk ocean. But how did Lakshmi's, if you actually see a Lakshmi's form, there are avatars of Lakshmi also. Asta Lakshmis is what we call, right? Gaja Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi, Santana Lakshmi. So again, these are all like what you're asking, your desires, and then she's bestowing you with whatever we've been asking for. So the Lakshya is that, for example, Dhanya Lakshmi, your Lakshya as a farmer. Dhanya means like food, okay? If your Lakshya as a farmer is to produce a good quality food, you're asking, that is your Lakshya, and then the goddess is bestowing you on that, right? But if you see the generic form of a Lakshmi, it is, Lakshmi's asana is lotus. In one of the stories that I was reading about the Lakshmi Udbhava, as per the Vishnu Purana, alright? So the Lakshmi comes out from that Samudra Madana ocean sitting on a lotus and holding another lotus in the hand. Okay. Now, usually in Carnatic music also, most of the compositions, whether it's written by Annamacharya, Purandaradasa, Tyagaraja Swami, any Vardhakara, they all use a simile, a lotus as a simile for pleasantness, lotus as a simile describing the eyes, the netra of the Lord,
Also
or
the
the Lakshmi.
feet.
Correct. Also the feet, or like one Annamacharya Kirtana that we Kamala. There are a lot of Kirtanas that way, right? Kamala. So it's like the eyes are being described as a this thing. The whole one of the Annamacharya Kirtanas talks about the lotus Kamala, where Lakshmi is seated on the Kamalam. This Kamala is being placed on the lap of the Lord. So Kamalam is used. Why is that Kamalam is used? As a representation to the Lord. That can be Vishnu or Lakshmi. Is because the essence of the lotus is purity. Right? And for our normal human being understanding, the mental framework understanding, where does the lotus grow? In absolute not. Right? And then it is coming out, blossoming into a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous flower. So that means the core essence of praying Lakshmi is irrespective of what's happening here in the ground level. It can be too sticky, too slushy, whatever is happening, your circumstances be, if your core, your Lakshya is strong, alright, you blossom. And that blossoming is more like Lakshmi. That can be an interpretation that we can actually take for lotus, right? We will try to learn a composition Bhagyada Lakshmi Bharamma, a Purandaradasa's Kirtana, and we'll try to unravel the meaning of this particular composition as well. Bhagyada Lakshmi Bharamma, Nammamma Ni Saubhagya Lakshmi Bharamma. ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ ಗಜ್ಜೆ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಾಧು ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ. And this Charanam Archana is so beautiful. Okay. ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ ಗಜ್ಜೆ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ. The anklets. Alright. This we can actually connect to the rhythm of life. Harmony. So Lakshmi aspect we are saying it's harmony and beauty. Okay. See the gajja kalgala dhvaniya maduta. See if you are wearing an anklets and you are walking. If you are not walking in a rhythmic pattern, generally the walk has got its own rhythm because each body has got its own rhythm, an inbuilt rhythm. The only thing is we don't realize it. We are not conscious of that rhythm that is there. Right. But if imagine you have these anklets tied up and then you are walking, whichever way you want, you are jumping around. Even then, in that disorder also there is an order. The sound of those anklets is actually beautiful. There is always an order in the disorder as well. That's what all our Vedas, Vedantas, the essence is that in spite of so much of a disorder that you are seeing, you are feeling, it has got its own order. But imagine you're walking like, you're doing a march past to the left, right, in a particular pattern you're walking. See this sound. So that is the harmony, that is the beauty that the Lord, the Ammavaru is actually, presenting us. So, Gajje Kalgala Dhvaniya Maduta, Sajjana Sadhu Poojeya Velage. Sajjana and Sadhus, everybody around, Poojeya Velage, they are praying you. ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ. ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆ. So the exact meaning of that, when you churn the buttermilk, that is when you get the butter. So here Purandaradasa is very clearly saying, as pure the butter is after the churning. See the simile, the Lakshmi's Udbhavam has happened in the churning of the Samudra Madanam. Alright. The same churning he is using here as a simile according to me, and then he is saying once you churn the buttermilk, the butter that is extracted out of that, it's a pure form, pure fat. If we have to use it, right? Pure form of fat. That is Lakshmi. So the purity is Lakshmi. But what we as human beings need to understand is that purity, that can be in a sense of a joy, that can be abundance. Basically, I would say an abundance of you aspire for joy, you aspire for wealth, you aspire for health, whatever you're aspiring for. That abundance comes only when the churning happens. But we all get scared, of course, when the churning starts. We prefer just taking the buttermilk, not the butter. But that is the fact, right? The churning, unless and until the churning happens, and that purity only then comes out, because we are learning a lot of things when the churning is happening. When the churning happening, we realize our own samskaras, our own problems with those samskaras, our own difficulties, our own preconceived notions, our own blockages, and then once we move out of it, that is where you see the purity, pure sense of a joy. The lotus blossoms only then. See, everything is actually pointing and boiling down to only one point, the churning. Huh? Let's sing this. ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ,
ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ,
ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ,
ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ
ನೀ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ,
ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ.
Saubhagyam again, as per our traditions, I mean, I've heard my grandparents talking about it. From a very normal sense, Saubhagya is considered as someone who has got a happy family. You know, your husband, your kids, Padu, Pasu, Panta. Like you have Padi, Panta. In Telugu, we call it as a Padi and Panta. Panta is the farm's, Padi is the cattle. So you have an ample amount of a cattle because that feeds you. Okay, you have a happy family, you have your husband with you, you have your in-laws with you, you have your kids with you, so the house is filled. So that is called a Saubhagyam. So where everything. But we can also, when I'm saying, I'm just thinking through, we can also take to the next level, not just the materialistic arrangements we are talking about. Saubhagya is about, take it the inner thing, you know, you have the quietude, you are able to maintain the solitude, the calmness, the inner joy we are talking about. If you have those things, you are complete. You are complete. The Saubhagya means that you are absolutely bestowed. You know, absolutely blessed. When that kind of a calmness and we call when the psychic comes ahead, right? When the psychic is leading your life, which is of course a very difficult and a challenging task, but if that comes, that is when I think I assume or I strongly believe that we are blessed with that complete Saubhagya. ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ,
ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ,
ಅಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ,
ಅಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ.
ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ,
ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ,
ಗಜ್ಜೆ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ,
ಗಜ್ಜ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ,
ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ,
ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ,
ಗಜ್ಜೆ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ,
ಗಜ್ಜ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ,
ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಾಧು ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ,
ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಾಧು ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳಕ್ಕೆ,
ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ,
ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ,
ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ,
ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ.
ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುಟ,
ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುಟ,
ಗಜ್ಜೆ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ,
ಗಜ್ಜ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ,
ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಾಧು ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ,
ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಾಧು ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ,
ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆ ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ
ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ
ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ. Here, when we are doing this, just a thought came in. So when you are inviting a god, so what is the meaning of this? Bhagyada Lakshmi Baramma. Baramma is we are asking her to come. We are calling the goddess to come in. When we have a guest coming in itself, we try to clean the premises, we try to keep the hall very neat, though the shelves are very untidy, but we try to at least keep the outer premises pretty neat, right? When we are calling a guest home, we try to prepare more of, dishes, a lot of food and lot of, so that's a basic concept as a Atithi Devo Bhava, and that's rooted into our culture, right? Even if a friend is coming who has seen us in and out also, we try to do that, right? So when we are doing so much for a person just like us, what is it we are supposed to do when we are actually inviting the divine, the force to come into our life? So is that just about keeping our premises organized and clean, or is it about keeping this, a body's premises? When I say body, not just the physical, but in every sense, our thought, our action, our speech, okay, the way we act, react, everything has to be on that par when we are inviting the Lakshmi to enter into our life, right? Here I was researching on something called, when I was doing the pranayamas, I realized and found a mudra, okay, which is called a Lakshmi mudra. There is a Saraswati mudra, there is a Lakshmi mudra, different mudras that are used when we do a pranayama prakriya, okay, breathing, don't breathe, just a breathing, but of course we all know that the nerve points are all at the hands and the foot thing, right? So we use those things. So Lakshmi mudra is this closing, it's like, an asking. So Lakshmi mudra is basically this, we are just asking. So we close our the thumb close to your hands and then put it. So we put it on the thigh, and then when we do a pranayama for the Lakshmi mudra, either you do a Shrinkar, so when we inhale, we take the Shrinkaram or the Shri Akaram, and then we just exhale. So when you exhale, mentally we can also tell ourselves, okay, let go of all the attachments that I have, whichever way pranayama prakriya works with each one of us, we can do that. But this is one mudra. So when we are inhaling, we are taking the Shri mantra, There is also another way the mudra is used, is a lotus. Because Kamalam, as I said, Mahalakshmi has taken the Udbhavam, has taken a birth from lotus. So this is the mudra again, and we keep this close to the heart center. Alright, this is also another mudra that many yogic practitioners use this. This is also a Shri mudra. There is also a third variation of a Shri mudra. If you actually see a sculpture of Mahalakshmi, the mudra is this, right? So this is like giving and this is the abundance, right? So either this is also a mudra, but we will not be able to use this when we do the pranayama. This is personally, I feel this is very difficult to do it and feels like as if you are sitting and blessing someone. But this I found to be very comfortable. So you're just putting open hands. Normally also when we sit for a meditation, we just open the hands. But in this mudra, we are just trying to close all the fingers together, or even this lotus mudra is also. But for the lotus, your little fingers and the thumb should be close. It's like you're sealing it, totally sealing the thumbs and the little finger. and then close to the heart center. And then we continue doing the same pranayama breathing and exhale system. Okay. We move on to the last charanam of this composition. There are multiple charanams in Bhagyada Lakshmi Bharama written by Purandaradasar, but we are taking the first and the last thing. ಸೆಕ್ಕರ ತುಪ್ಪಡ ಕಾಲುವೆ ಹರಿಸಿ
ಸಕ್ಕರ ತುಪ್ಪಡ ಕಾಲುವೆ ಹರಿಸಿ
ಶುಕ್ರವಾರದ ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ
ಶುಕ್ರವಾರದ ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ
ಅಕ್ಕರೆಯುಳ್ಳ ಅಲಗಿರಿ ರಂಗನ
ಅಕ್ಕರೆಯುಳ್ಳ ಅಲಗಿರಿ ನಂಗನ
ಚೊಕ್ಕ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ರಾಣಿ
ಚೊಕ್ಕ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ರಾಣಿ
ಚೊಕ್ಕ ಪುರಂದರ
ಚೊಕ್ಕ ಪುರಂದರ
ವಿಠಲನ ರಾಣಿ
ವಿಠಲನ ರಾಣಿ
ಸೆಕ್ಕರ ತುಪ್ಪಡ ಕಾಲುವೆ ಹರಿಸಿ
ಚಕ್ಕರ ತುಪ್ಪಡ ಕಾಲುವೆ ಹರಿಸಿ
ಶುಕ್ರವಾರದ ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ
ಶುಕ್ರವಾರದ ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ
ಅಕ್ಕೆರೆಯುಳ್ಳ ಅಲಗಿರಿ ರಂಗನ
ಅಕ್ಕರೆಯುಳ್ಳ ಅಲಗಿರಿ ರಂಗನ
ಚೊಕ್ಕ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ರಾಣಿ
ಚೊಕ್ಕ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ರಾಣಿ
ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ. This charanam is also so beautiful. The meaning in one line. Sekkara tuppada kaluve harisi. Sekkara is sugar, right? So he's saying, let my house flow with sugar and ghee. Okay. Let's try to understand the simile, but we have to go little olden days. We will not be able to understand it from a modern concept. In those days, because the main source of income, when I say income, not just the monetary cash, but the main source of incoming thing is through farms, right? So they produce. When does a farmer actually celebrate? Only on those cases we have the Sankranti harvest festivals also come, right? But what is a traditional thing we do on a Sankranti? Traditional sweet that we
sweet
prepare.
pongal and something
Right?
with sugar, ghee,
Ghee and all that, right? So imagine, Sekkara tuppada kaluve harisi. Kaluva. It's like let it flow as a stream. In my house is what Purandaradasa is asking. What does that mean? It means let that the joy of. So usually farmers, they don't enjoy a 3-course meal. Now it's a different story, but back then, because the produce is very little and the number of people living is huge. They were all like joint families, right? So obviously it's a special occasion is when they make a sweet out of your milk, and they have the cow anyways, cattle anyways in the house, right? So he's saying, let that abundance flow in my house, in my life every day. Abundance of what? Abundance of a joy when you eat the produce that you've harvested after an absolute strenuous years of work. We can replace this with anything we do. It's not just farming. The tenures, the work that we do, the hard work we do, and the result we get, the joy that we get after the work that we do. So he's saying, let that abundance be there in my house and everybody's house. Let it just flow. The joy, the sweetness. We usually celebrate happiness with sweets, right? Whatever occasion it is, sweets, because that is a way of expression of joy. So he's saying, let that spread. And Sukravarada Pujaya Velage Akkarayulla Alagiri Rangana Chokka Purandara Vithalana Rani. Chokka Purandara is his name. Purandaradasar's signature is what Purandaradasa is using. So Akkarayulla, Akkara is like love, compassion. So he's saying, with that compassion, hug me, O Divine Mother, take me into your arms, and I, Purandaradasa, surrender myself at your feet.